The portal is fucking nuts. The portal is out of control right now, right? And not just out of control, but these are like top names that are going crazy. And all this is reported by On3, so they get all the credit. But just listen to some of these names. Justice Hayes, running back, going from Michigan to Georgia Tech, right? Malik Harford, safety, going from Ohio State to UCLA, right? Obviously, DeAndre Moore, wide receiver from Texas, going to Colorado. Cade Porch, safety from Minnesota, going to Oregon. The rich get richer. Sam Levitt finally makes the commitment, goes to LSU. LSU almost fucked that up. Who else we got? We got Jaquez Carter going from Ohio State to Miami, right? Miami's getting a nice guy up front, right, to continue to build that online and work with Jason Taylor. Quay Russo and James Smith leaving Alabama. They're getting killed on the offensive defensive line. He's going to Ohio State, right? Noah Rogers, former Ohio State, goes to the North Carolina State. Now he's transferring to Alabama. I've already talked about Cam Coleman, the number one receiver in the portal, going to Texas to play with Ryan Wingo and Arch Manning. AJ Harris, one of the top cornerbacks in the portal, all right, leaves Penn State. It's going to Indiana, right? We got Quincy Porter leaving Ohio State, going to Notre Dame, right? CJ Carr gets another weapon on the outside. Dylan Raiola leaving Nebraska, going to Oregon. Jordan Seaton, who is now the pretty girl at the dance, the number one offensive tackle in the class, future number one first-round pick, leaving Colorado. Where is he going to go? Let's talk about that for a second, because it's not often you see names like these, top names, running back, safeties, receivers, really leaving their school where they made their mark, right, to go to other programs. But that's the day and age we're in when it comes to the transfer portal, right? Jordan Seaton's number one offensive tackle, right? Started as a true freshman, 5-star plus at the IMG Academy. He's in the portal. Some of the names I'm hearing Florida, and as a Gators fan, I hope we can get them, right? I'm hearing Florida. I'm hearing Texas. I'm hearing Oregon. I'm hearing Miami, right? A name you should keep an eye on is Mississippi State for Jordan Seaton, all right? His old offensive line coach, who he has a great relationship with, Phil Loneholt, right? Former offensive tackle for the Minnesota Vikings, former coach at Colorado, now at Mississippi State. Do not rule out Mississippi State when it comes to this decision. I think the pretty signings, right? I'm gonna say he leaned towards maybe a Miami, an Oregon, maybe a Texas. I don't know, right? But do not rule out Mississippi State for Jordan Seaton, right? The number one offensive tackle in the portal, and be curious to see where he ends up, right? But the portal's fucking crazy right now, right? College football is nuts, right? College football, this free agency, when it comes to college football, is really almost better, right, than the NFL. Because, listen, when you get to the NFL, it becomes more about the money. It becomes more about making business decisions. Now, granted, these are all business decisions, but college football is about hope, right? If you would have told me Indiana for over semi-odd years, right, who's never had a 10-win season, who's had a 46-win percentage over those years, all of a sudden gets a coach from JMU. He brings 14 JMU guys to his program. 7 are currently still there. In the past 2 seasons, they had a 92 per win percentage, right? That's the hope I'm talking about. So the portal has installed hope in regards to these programs and really created parity. Just look at our playoffs. We're getting a 10 seed, despite who the name is. We're getting a 10 seed, right, versus a 1 seed in Indiana, all right? And then you start looking at the names that are in. Regardless of what you think about, the G5s with JMU and Tulane. But we've had Ole Miss. We saw the run they went on. We saw the fight that they put up. We saw the games that they played, right? And how they played those games, right? Georgia get knocked out, right? Miami, Tennessee goes to A&M, right? One of the top 3-5 stadiums in all of college football, over 100,000 plus, right? Atmosphere is nuts. Go there and get a win, right? Indiana, we already talked about them. Came out of nowhere. Texas Tech. You get some oil money at Texas Tech. You see what they could draw up, right? So the portal has provided hope for a lot of teams, right? It's expanded Now, I'm not saying like your Rutgers, or I'm not saying like your Wake Forest. I'm not saying like, your Purdue's, right, are gonna be that next Indiana, but why not? But that's what I mean about the portal. So while everyone's going crazy about these kids getting money, portal, this and that, and it's not how it used to be. I get it, trust me. But there's something to be said about the mystery or the unknown of having a team come out of nowhere and really show that they could ball, i.e. Ole Miss. Really show that they could compete despite what Texas Tech did in the Orange Bowl, right? But if it wasn't for the portal or kids not being able to play right away, we will still see the same old names at the top. And granted, I'm a college football traditionalist. I get it, right? But it's something to be said when I'm getting a Indiana playing in the Natty, who is really the favorite in the game, versus a Miami who hasn't been in the Natty in 23 years, right? So the portal has its good, it has its bad, but I'm telling you, it's fucking crazy. But it's going to provide a lot of craziness when we get to the fall, which is what we've seen over the past couple weeks, right? Especially in this playoffs. So it's been nuts.